Good evening and welcome to the Carnegie Town Hall. This meeting of the City Council will begin in a few moments. The City Council meets on the first, second, and third Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. and serves as the city's policymaking and legislative body. Each meeting is governed by Robert's Rule of Order unless those guidelines conflict with city ordinance or charter. City Council meetings offer an opportunity for citizens to speak directly to their elected representatives. Those in attendance are invited to address the Council during the public input segment at the beginning of the agenda. At that time, any issue that is not subject to formal action later in the agenda can be addressed. Testimony that concerns a resolution or an ordinance's second reading is only allowed when those specific agenda items are being addressed by the Council. When addressing the Council, citizens should speak directly into the microphones at the podium and state their names for the record after being recognized by the chair. To accommodate and respect all viewpoints, citizen comments are limited by ordinance to no more than 5 minutes each. Comments should be respectful and focused on providing new information that will benefit the Council's deliberative process. By city ordinance, all remarks must be addressed to the City Council as a body and not to any City Council member, including the mayor. The chair reserves the right to limit the number of speakers. City Council meetings are broadcast live on CityLink and online at siouxfalls.org. Information regarding the City Council, its committees, meetings, briefings, and members is available by visiting siouxfalls.org/council or by calling the Council office at 605-367-8085. Thank you for your interest in Sioux Falls City Government.
Well, good evening. This evening is Tuesday, June 5, 6:05 day. If you didn't get the memo, June 5. Welcome. Glad you can be here today. Thanks for everyone who's joining us remotely as well. It's full agenda tonight, and looking forward to my second full City Council meeting. And so, like I did with my first one, I'm going to ask for grace as I get through a 30-page set of notes right here. So, looking forward to this evening. Clerk, read the roll, please.
Council members Erickson.
Here.
Kiley.
Here.
Neitzert.
Here.
Selberg.
Here.
Sale.
Here.
Starr.
Here.
Staley.
Here.
Brecky.
Here.
At this time, as we do every meeting, we open our meeting with an invocation. And someone who's been here before is Reverend Randy Gehring from Our Savior's Lutheran. So at this point, we are going to be led in invocation, and then I would ask that after that we rise and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, it's come to this. Whatever else this day has been for you, whatever else this day has brought for you, you now find yourselves here. We find ourselves here together in these chambers, in this moment. The result of a confluence of forces and circumstances none of us can quite fully explain. And this moment, like every one we've experienced today, or any other day for that matter, is a gift, a blessing from our gracious Creator. So I invite you all to take a deep breath and breathe in the gift God is giving you in this moment. Be present in this time in ways that bring the very best version of yourself to bear on the agenda that is before you. See in one another a reflection of the image of God and treat one another accordingly. Offer yourselves and the gifts God has bestowed upon you in service to this community and its citizens, striving always for peace, for justice, and for the common good. Again, take a deep breath and rest, if only for a moment, in the gift of this time together and in the assurance that you are not alone in this important work. Let's pray. God, whose giving knows no ending, let your Spirit rest upon these chambers this night and upon these leaders whom you have called to serve this city and all who live here. Bless them with wisdom, patience, foresight, and vision, and guide them in their deliberating and decision-making. We pray this humbly, trusting in your goodness and relying upon your grace, and thankfully, mindful of the abundance of your blessings. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated, and I will ask Councillor Kiley to join me at the front here.
Well, thank you very much. And it's our privilege this evening to present superhero awards to members of our community. And the Superhero Award is the brainchild of Councillor Selberg, Vice Chair Selberg. And it's an award that recognizes good people in our good community, good people who have treated individuals with kindness and provided service to the city of Sioux Falls. So my first recipient is Susan Randall. If you could please come forward. Let me tell you a little bit about why Susan is here this evening. Susan Randall led the way to bring South Dakota into compliance with core protections for youth under the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act. She also worked as an effective advocate for improving children's mental health services and early childhood education. She has been part of the campaign to keep the history of the Sioux Falls Stockyards alive. The Stockyards Ag Experience Interactive Museum is one outcome of that collaboration. She is also active with the Pettigrew Heights Neighborhood Association and helped to reestablish the All Souls Church, whose roots date back to the 1880s. She also helped establish church programs to bring community-wide awareness to Native American Day and social justice issues surrounding Native Americans. Her passionate, effective, collaborative advocacy are the very definition of a superhero. Again, congratulations. Now may I have Mark Sanderson come forward, please. Let me tell you a little bit about Mark. Mark Sanderson has spent decades contributing to the betterment of the Sioux Falls community. Mark is retired from a teaching career that spanned decades. His students included inmates at the penitentiary and at-risk youth at Volunteers of America. An advocate for prisoners' rights, he has long provided sweat lodge materials for Native American inmates' spiritual needs at the penitentiary. He is a past president of the Pettigrew Heights Neighborhood Association, connecting people and bringing kindness to that core neighborhood. He and his wife, Susan Randall, landscaped and planted the green space around the yellow triangular sculpture Obtuse near 12th and Grange. With a master's in divinity, he helped reestablish All Souls Church in the 1970s. He has served that community ardently from service lay leader to teacher over the last 40 years. Through his church, whose goodwill also impacts the larger community as he provides pastoral care to the sick, the troubled, and the marginalized, both inside and outside the church. He not only holds his church's principles dear, he lives them every day. Mark's jovial, caring personality has touched thousands in the Sioux Falls community. That makes him a superhero. Congratulations, Mark. And last but not least, Gary and Lynn Wergler, if you would please come forward. Let me tell you a little bit about Gary and Lynn. Gary and Lynn both volunteer in many events and causes in Sioux Falls. Both are very active at Abiding Savior Lutheran Church by serving as the child care leaders and participating in the Christmas gift programs. Gary is a leader in the Bible Study Fellowship, which is an international Christian interdenominational fellowship of lay people who offer a system of structured Bible study. Lynn bakes goodies for shut-in people and delivers them and gives of her time so freely. And Gary is a proud veteran who now serves as a chaplain for the Sioux Falls Police Department. They are little known and do not expect any praise for their work, but exemplify a true superhero. Congratulations, Gary and Lynn.
Oh, great way to start the meeting. We will now move ahead to the consent agenda approval. And I would ask if there's any changes or motions to the consent agenda.
Move to approve, Erickson.
Second.
Motion to approve by Erickson, seconded by Kylie. Is there any discussion on that? If not, a roll call vote, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Neitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. We will now move to the approval of our regular agenda.
Move to approve, Erickson.
Second, Selberg.
Mr. Mayor.
Motion to approve by Erickson, seconded by Selberg. Discussion.
Yes, if I can make a motion to amend the regular agenda by moving item 111 before item 110.
Second, Neitzert.
Okay, motion to move item 111 on the regular agenda before item 110 by Councilor Erickson, seconded by Neitzert. Any discussion on that? If not, a vote on the amendment, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Neitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
Okay, that amendment has passed 8-0. Now we will need a motion to approve the amended main motion of the agenda.
Council member Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Neitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Now we get a chance to move to the public input portion of our meeting for any citizens who wish to address the council and the mayor. I would invite anyone who would like to do that to come forward. You'll have 5 minutes to do that. Please address the entirety of the body and state your name before beginning. Welcome. Good evening.
Hello, my name's Heather Pastor. I am a human being of the community. I have a few things I want to bring up about discrimination. I am getting refused assistance from the Access to Justice and also the people through the Department of Labor, Lonnie J, I'm not going to say this name, let's spell it, Broton, as well as this Katie, Medema. They're slandering me. I had went through their program to try to get assistance with part-time work because of my living situation, and I've been kind of struggling with this. I'm trying to get a civil matter because of everything that happened to me, and instead of getting referred to the right attorney, which is what the type of help I'm trying to get, the places that I get told to go through, they tell me that they don't assist people, they won't help people. Because of my living situation and the income that I live off of, I cannot afford for a real attorney. And it's really hard for individuals on fixed incomes to be able to even get by because everything that me and my fiance pay for is out of pocket, and it all started with what the landlords did to me. Sometimes I almost wish there could be somebody could start an organization where they could start funding people on low fixed incomes for help with the attorneys. Because of my abilities, I'm getting turned away and I'm getting treated differently everywhere I go. And my fiance is this gentleman over here in the Batman hat. He's working now, which I'm actually very proud of him. He's works at Applebee's. He's actually made employee of the month, and I'm proud of him. But me, I'm still just pitching in on my income and trying to get help while everybody's turning me away and treating me like I'm nothing. And I know this is a topic you guys get uncomfortable with, but it's been going on for a long time, and I'm just trying to find somebody out there to reach out to help me, to direct me to the right attorney so I can get the help that I need. And it's hard because I can't afford to pay for a real attorney. And it's just, I just feel like there's no help. It's like when I go to the county, they refuse me help, but they help other people. When I go to all these other organizations, they help other people, but they won't help me. I mean, I've actually talked to my fiance, and he's told me that people from Southeastern Behavior, his old case manager, actually told him on 20 different occasions when I wasn't around that he should leave me out on the streets and leave me out there. And it's not professional to talk about somebody who doesn't have anybody. And I guess that's what I have to say. So everybody enjoy your spring, summer.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to address the council this evening?
Oh,
Yes.
Mayor.
Good evening.
Congratulations on your election.
Thank you, man.
I'm James Reed. I know you guys got a lot to deal with. I know it's really hard. It's kind of hard because I'm really actually trying to hang in there with everything. Because right now, the way that I've paid over $9,000-$10,000 for a motel, which I'm glad I'm working. Because I'm 59 years old and I'm still kicking. And I do like to work. And I also help people. I take them everywhere they need to go, anyone. Because I know how it feels not to have anything and have nobody help. I even given my last $6 to some girl and her kids when her boyfriend was sleeping on a sidewalk. Which I can understand. He should have been out looking for work. I could have bought a pack of cigarettes, but I gave it to her to go get your kids something to drink. So I know how it is. I know it's tough, and I'm just doing what I can do because I know I had trouble, and then I'm not giving down. It's just like I tell everybody, I'm not going back down that staircase, not going back down that railroad track because I know how it is, I know how it feels. And congratulations on your election.
Thanks, man.
And I hope you can do something about it with everyone. Because I hate to see little kids and I hate to see women with kids sleeping on the street. Because I had to pick some lady up off the road because she got beat up on in the park, which is really not right to hit a woman.
Right.
Okay, you guys have a good one.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Good evening.
Sierra Bruce, Sioux Falls. So You know, everybody wants the handouts, but these individuals, I'm not even going to speak on them because they had county assistants before. So when you get always a handout and you don't do what the program tells you to do and you burn your bridges, then that's where you're at, okay? Because I just got off on texting a county worker that has helped them in the past. So we can't be giving hands out in the city here. Aaron George thinks that he's going to buy the Russell Super 8 Motel on Russell Street and turn them into apartments. Called the planning and zoning, and they haven't contacted me back. Shauna hasn't. I talked to Aaron George, and he says that it's all planned out, that he was going to build them, put them as one-bedroom apartments, and rent them for $500. So we got Lana Blake's involved, Sioux Falls Inn involved, everybody involved, because it is not a suitable location because it's an industrial and commercial. So I told planning and zoning that he better do the proper procedures and do the application, do what he's supposed to be doing and get permits and everything before he decides to do this on a closing date on June 14th. Now, we had a shooting at a hotel. I can't get into all of it here because I have to testify against these people. We had shootings, we had stabbings, and these were all gang members, not from the state, and it wasn't prison gangs at all. The police departments I have talked to and the sergeants were stressed out on Wednesday. They were backed up 8 hours on calls for service. The mayor wants to take 2 patrolmen off the streets for narcotics. I get that. But where are we going to put the other 2 police officers? We need police officers on the streets. I had to testify against a pimp. I got to testify against drug dealers and gang members coming up next month. So Mayor, where are you at with this? I'm on the streets every day. I don't care what your chief says because I'm going to do a petition drive and we're going to get them out of here. We need policemen on the streets. I'm hearing it from the police officers. The reason why they're not up here is because they can't. So I advise council members, don't take what Chief Burns says and look into this matter because we have police officers going from call to call to call and can't keep up. Yes, crime is on the rise. Yes, there are blood scripts and M13s. So what are we going to do about it? And I always said with Mayor Uther, and I'm going to say it with this mayor, we got to get the chief out of office. We got to clean up the police department. Then we work the streets. Now, I don't care what Aaron George is going to do, but I told him that Arena Motel sign is not an Arena Motel. It is a residential property. Why does he still have that sign there? He is not with the Historic Society at all. So he needs to rezone that. How did he slip through the cracks on that? The Deluxe Motel is not a motel. It is a efficiency bedrooms, efficiency apartments for $500 a month. I will continue to fight crime on these streets, but I'm going to tell y'all this. Come budget time, when the police need to get this raised, I'm going to get all these policemen back up in here, and we're going to have a packed house on this issue here. It stems from the mayor to get on the chief of police to start hiring police officers. These 2 officers that the mayor's going to take off the street, they're going to be 2 down, 2 more down. I just can't stress enough what I just had to go through on the streets this last week. I can't because I'm going to be charged. But I'm telling you, we need policemen on the streets. Y'all know council members, y'all been trying for a year to get police. We have the money to get these policemen on the streets. It starts with the mayor getting the chief of police in order. He doesn't want to cooperate, you get him out. You get out the administration. The officers and sergeants are telling me, Sierra, it's upper administration. Well, you know what? I told the officers and sergeants on Wednesday and Thursday night that I would be up here to vouch for them that we need to clean up this police department. You can't clean up the streets if you can't clean up a police department. I can't tell you how many officers got disciplined in the 2 weeks because I was in neighborhoods and they were laughing and wouldn't do their job properly. And I have it on video if you look on my Facebook. We need to get rid of administration and we need to get, I don't care what the mayor does. The petition drive is going to start in this fall and we're going to get rid of Chief Burns. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sierra. Anyone else? David, welcome.
Greetings. I'm David Zokaitis, and my PowerPoint's over there. Hopefully it won't turn on. Hey, there we go. Came up. Magic. Anyway, I'd like to talk to you all about the bike trail and how I'm trying to get a little bit of stuff done on it. And running into a few snags, and I could use some help from a manager, a mayor, to expedite things. All right, so what I'm trying to do, I want to improve the bike trail. Nice enough, you know, I'm an active citizen, like to make things better. And I've contacted the Parks Department, and they fixed a few things, and they have other things planned, and so far so good. But there's a couple of unresolved problems that hopefully we'll be able to get cranking on here tonight. There's some big trash that we need to get rid of, and some gravel on an access trail would be beneficial. All right, easy enough. Now, here's the list of who I contacted and when, and it just kind of goes on and on and on. We haven't even gone to the end yet. So there's more of it. So it kind of hung up around May 15th when I sent email to the streets department, and they didn't get back to me. And I'd like to thank my counselor, there he is, for helping me expedite this earlier in the thread. But there's my favorite part of the bike trail. Beautiful, it's scenic, it's lovely. You ought to go there sometime. It's really pretty. And there's that big trash I talked about. It looks like some kind of sign that fell over and been there a decade. We ought to get rid of it. But, you know, I can't do that legally because that would have to drive my truck on the levee, and you can't do that legally. And there's a big steel plate or something, concrete affixed to it. It should go. And here's the picture of some muddy footprints on that bike trail access. I happen to like projects, and you'll see a little bit about that in a little bit. You see, I've got this old rusty truck, it still works, and I've got this shovel, it still works, and I'd like to donate some gravel. You know, what an idea. Guy wants to donate and deliver gravel on that muddy access road. But you see, there's a problem here. I'm not allowed to do that legally. So I'd like to get a permit from the city to drive my truck, to donate my time and some gravel to fix the mud. And of course, you know, we should all try to enjoy nature and the beautiful weather. This happens to be a picture of the bike trail and some flowers and some unidentified pedestrian. And with that, I bid you all a good evening.
Thank you, David. Anyone else? All right, item 95. We'll move to. And
Item 95 is a new 2018-19 retail malt beverage license for Trivedi Oil LLC, Coda Corner, 900 North Sycamore Avenue, with conditional use permit 8325-2018, being approved on May 3rd, 2018, pending permit issuance and final inspections per Fire, Health, and Building Services. Item 96 is a request to include video lottery terminals with the new 2018-19 retail malt beverage license for Trivedi Oil LLC, Coda Corner, 900 North Sycamore Avenue, with conditional use permit 8325-2018, being approved on May 3rd, 2018, pending permit issuance and final inspections per Fire, Health, and Building Services. Item 97 is a new 2018 retail liquor license for Harrisburg Crossing LLC, Harrisburg Crossing LLC, 5801 East 41st Street, with conditional use permit 8202-2018, being approved on April 4th, 2018, pending permit issuance and final inspections per Fire, Health, and Building Services. Item 98 is a new 2018 packaged liquor delivery license for B&L Group Investments, LLC, Fogey's Liquor Gallery, 5020 South Marion Road. Item 99, transfer of 2018 retail liquor license, including Sunday sales and video lottery terminals, from PAVE LLC PAVE 130 South Phillips Avenue to PAVE LLC PAVE 130 South Phillips Avenue and Level 2 of 136 South Phillips Avenue, pending permit issuance and final inspections per Fire, Health, and Building Services. Item 100, special one-day malt beverage and special one-day wine license for Catering America, Chef Dominique's Catering, to be operated at Relia Bank, 608 West 86th Street, for an open house on September 6, 2018. Item 101, 101, special one-day malt beverage license for the banquet to be operated at Cliff Avenue Greenhouse and Garden Center, 2101 East 26th Street, for a fundraiser on October 4th, 2018. 102, special one-day malt beverage license for Panacea Brewing Company, LLC, Remedy Brewing Company, to be operated in the 8th and Railroad Center parking lot, 401 East 8th Street, for a Feeding South Dakota fundraiser on July 8th and 9th, 2018.
Hi, Jamie.
Good evening, Jamie Palmer with licensing. I would need to request a motion to withdraw items 95 and 96 per the applicant's request. Item 100, I would also need to request an amendment to the date to change that from September 6th to September 13th due to construction delays. And on 102, I would also need to request a change of the date from July 8th and 9th to June 8th and 9th. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to remove items 95 and 96, withdraw items 95 and 96.
Second.
Okay, a motion to withdraw by Erickson, seconded by Kylie, items 95 and 96. Any discussion on that? Okay.
Yes, just for anyone who may have come, just to let the citizens know that this means it's been withdrawn. The applicant has withdrawn that.
Thank you. Any further discussion? If not, I will ask for a roll call vote on that.
Council members Erickson? Yes. Kylie?
Yes.
Neitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve items 97 to 102.
Second, Staley.
Then, Mr. Mayor, if I can, I'll make a motion to amend item 100 by replacing September 6, 2018 with September 13, 2018.
Second.
And
Do we need two separate motions on those two? Yeah. So the first motion to approve 97 and 102 was by Councilor Erickson, seconded by Staley. Any discussion on that? So we have to vote on that first, correct?
motion on the amendment.
We'll vote on the amendment first.
Okay, we'll vote on the amendment first.
Okay. Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Neitzert?
Yes.
Selberg? Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That is passed 8-0.
Mr. Mayor, I have another amendment to
Yes.
a motion to amend item 102 from July 8th and 9th, 2018 to June 8th and 9th, 2018.
Second, Neitzert.
Okay, motion by Councilor Erickson, seconded by Neitzert. Any discussion on that? If not, a roll call vote on that, please.
Vote on that amendment. Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Neitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
All right, that has passed 8-0. Item 103.
Okay, and now we're going to vote on the,
Oh, we have to vote on the, sure, okay. So now, we have to call for a vote on
97 to 102 as amended.
the 97 through 102 with those amendments having made. So I would ask for a roll call vote on that, please.
okay. Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Neitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Now, item 103.
Item 103 is a second reading. An ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property located at 117 South Garfield Avenue from the RD2 Townhome Residential Suburban District to the RT1 Single Family Residential Traditional District, petition number 8302, 2018, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval 6-0.
Jason Bieber, representing Planning and Building Services. This is an application by Bruce Taggy. The owner is Carol Anderson. It's located at 117 South Garfield Avenue. It's roughly 0.13 acres in size. The purpose of this rezoning is the applicant is looking at constructing a new single-family house on a lot that's currently less than 50 feet wide.
All right, this is a second reading, so is there anyone who would like to speak to the council on this issue? If not, then I'd ask for a motion to approve this.
Move approval. Selberg.
Second, Staley.
Move to approve Selberg, seconded Councilor Staley. Any discussion on this? If not, vote to approve, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Neitzert?
Yes.
Selberg.
Yes.
Sale.
Yes.
Starr.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Brecky.
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Item 104.
104 is a second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property located north of West Benson Road and west of North Westport Avenue from the O Office District to the C4 Commercial Regional, I-1 Light Industrial, and CN Conservation Districts, petition number 8312-2018, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval 6-0.
The applicant and owner here is Mark Mickelson. It's located north of West Benson Road, west of North Westport Avenue, and east of I-29. It's roughly 12.6 acres in size. The purpose of this rezoning is the applicant is looking at constructing a warehouse facility on the I-1 portion, and then there'll be future commercial development on the existing C4 portion. With the proposal concept plan in front of you here, the applicant would be required a level C buffer yard along that south property line to buffer those existing single-family residential homes to the south. This buffer yard would include a 30-foot setback, a 4-foot berm or a 6-foot fence, and 40 units of landscaping per every 100 lineal feet along that south side.
Thanks, Jason. Anyone from the public wish to address the council on this issue? Councilors, any questions for Jason on this?
Move approval, Erickson.
Second.
Move to approve Erickson, seconded Kylie. Councilor Staley.
Yes, Jason, I got a question. In that little quaint, little beautiful Martindale area, is the road going to be like close to the residential area going into this, or?
The road will not. There's that existing Martindale Road that stops at that north house on there. And then on the east side of this proposal, you see how it cul-de-sacs. And so there won't be a road that's anywhere close to that existing development. The road won't be continued south or continued north from Martindale at all.
So they're not going to have a lot of traffic coming through?
There won't be any traffic because it's a dead end to this property, so.
Excuse me, traffic noise is what I want to say.
No, because it'll be
quite a
west to, whichever one's on the west there. Northview Avenue that's going to come south. That's significantly west of this single-family development.
So next to because you're talking about the buffer zone, then what on the other side of the buffer zone on his side, what are we going to have in that area?
On the proposed warehouse
Yeah,
property?
I mean, how far is your warehouse going to be from the buffer zone?
Well, they're required a minimum of 30 feet. I believe they're showing about 55 feet or so from the property line. So they're doing a little bit more than what's the minimum is required.
And how tall is that warehouse going to be?
That I'm not sure. Maybe the applicant can address the proposal there. I'm not sure exactly how big it's going to be.
Welcome, Mark.
Mr. Mayor, councilors, Councilor Staley, it's a single-story structure, and it's going to be used, I think, for repair and service of vehicles. So I don't know, the buyer of the land doesn't wish to be identified at this time. He's got a location in a nearby community, just concerned that his existing workforce might be concerned he's leaving that location and moving here, which I don't think is his plan, but very reputable business, and I would estimate it be 20 feet, 25 feet if it was tall, kind of a single story, something you could pull a trailer into the facility and service it.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark. Any other questions for Mark while we have him here? Any other questions for Jason? If not, I'd ask for a vote on that motion to approve.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Nitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Next item.
Item 105 is a second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property located at 2122 and 2124 South Duluth Avenue from the RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban District to the RT1 Single Family Residential Traditional District, petition number 8313-2018, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval 6-0.
The applicant here and owner is Todd Bolches. It's located at 2122 and 2124 South Duluth Avenue. It's roughly 0.26 acres in size. The purpose of this rezoning is to match the correct zoning with the current single-family house on 2122 South Duluth, as you can see on the aerial. And then there's an existing vacant lot to the south of that house, and the applicant would like to construct a new home, and then that lot is less than 50 feet wide also, so he would have to rezone. So,
Thank you, Jason. Anyone from the public who would like to address the council on this issue? All right, councilors, any questions for Jason on this item?
Move to approve, Nitzert.
Second.
Motion to approve Nitzert, seconded by, I'll give that one to Councilor Kiley. Any other discussion? If not, roll call vote to approve, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kiley?
Yes.
Nitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Next item, 106.
Item 106 is a second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property located west of North 6 Mile Road and north of East 10th Street from the RS Single Family Residential Suburban District to the RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban District, petition number 8324, 2018, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval 6-0.
the applicant and owner here is Preston Metler. It's located north of East Arrowhead Parkway and west of North 6 Mile Road. It's roughly 6.3 acres in size. The purpose of this rezoning is the applicant would like to construct a twin home residential development with roughly 12 lots.
Thank you, Jason. Anyone from the public wish to address the council on this item? Councilors, any questions for Jason on this specific item?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve, Councilor Kiley.
Second.
Seconded by Sale. Any further discussion? If not, a roll call vote on that motion to approve, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kiley?
Yes.
Nitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Next item, number 107.
Item 107 is a second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property located at 6220 and 6224 South Cimarron Place from the RS Single Family Residential Suburban District to the RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban District, petition number 8364, 2018, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval 6-0 with the following condition: required front yard of 20 feet.
The applicant and owner is Darren Blair. It's located at 6220 and 6224 South Cimarron Place. This is south of 69th Street and east of Prairie Green Golf Course. It's roughly 0.38 acres in size. The purpose of this rezoning is the applicant is looking at constructing a twin home with a 20-foot front yard setback. That would be similar to all of the existing twin homes that currently are along South Cimarron Place.
Thank you, Jason. Anyone from the public wish to address the council on this specific item? Councilors, questions for Jason on this?
Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Starr.
Thank you, Jason. How did the other ones get at 20 feet, or what's the history?
Sure, great question. Prior to 2014, prior to the Shape Places zoning ordinance, we had what were called planned development districts. This whole area was part of a planned development district. And then in those districts, you can pretty much have your own bulk regulations. So one of the regulations was a front yard setback of 20 feet. And for some reason, this specific lot was excluded from that PD, and I don't know if it was a platting thing or what the deal was, but that's how all those got built with a 20-foot setback, so prior to 2014.
What's the difference, or what was the thought process that we needed to change, or why did they put them at 20 feet? Were they just the way the lots are set up, or in this area?
I think they were just going for a more, because it was a private street, maybe there's no parking on both sides or sidewalks on both sides, so you can kind of put the twin homes a little bit closer to the streets, a little bit different of a scenario. So.
And a little bigger backyard then?
Yeah.
I guess that's the way it equates. Thank you.
Any other questions for Jason on this issue? Not a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve with the condition of a required front yards of 20 feet. Nitzert.
Second, Erickson.
Motion to approve with the condition that the required front yard of 20 feet by Nitzert, seconded by Erickson. A roll call vote to approve that, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Nitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Recky?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Next item is 108.
108 is the second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the Code of Ordinances of the city by amending Chapter 160, zoning subchapter PUD, Planned Unit Development Regulations. Planning Commission recommends approval 6-0.
The applicant here is the City of Sioux Falls Planning Department, and really what we're looking at doing, as we explained in the first reading, is we have about 5 planned unit developments. They would be major institutional, the pedestrian-oriented planned unit development. We would have village mixed use, the downtown. And really what we're looking at doing is adding 2 forms that can be utilized within those planned unit developments. And those would be the open one. That's a form that's usually for drainage ponds, drainage areas, and also the open 2. That would be a form for pieces of these planned unit developments that would be for parks, golf courses, different things like that. They're currently not allowed in there, so we're just trying to add those and really encourage them to do more open space and conservation areas. So.
Got it. Thanks, Jason.
Move.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the council on this issue? Questions for Jason, councilors? If not, I'd ask for motion to approve.
Move to approve, Staley.
Second, Selberg.
Motion approved by Councilor Staley, seconded by Selberg. Any discussion? If not, a roll call vote to approve, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Nitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Recky?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Item 109.
Item 109 is the second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, providing supplemental appropriations.
Good evening. Tracy Turback with the Finance Office, Mayor and Council. Item 109 and the next item on your agenda both relate to the $500,000 capital contribution made to the city by SMG as part of their agreement to manage the city's entertainment venues. The ordinance would appropriate the $500,000 contribution that is intended for improvements so that we can proceed later this year. The intended use of these dollars will be for an upgrade to the audiovisual equipment in the convention center. The current equipment is rather outdated, and we think modernizing the equipment there will greatly enhance the customer service, client experience at the convention center, and it will also, to the city's benefit as well as SMG's, provide some revenue generating opportunities for the convention center as well. Terry Torkelson is also here, General Manager with SMG, so if you have questions for either of us, we'd be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy. This also is the second reading. Does anyone have any public comment on this item? If not, is there any questions for Terry or Tracy on this, Council? Councilor Nitzert?
Would this equipment be purchased by the city and owned assets of the city?
Yes. Yeah, the cash is in the city's bank account, so to speak, and the contract, once it's negotiated, will be brought forward to the council. The council will authorize that contract at some point, and then the assets acquired will be city property.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Tracy.
Bush-Starr.
Director Turbuck, sorry. Explain for me again where this $500,000 comes from. If I remember correctly, when we approved the contract with SMG, this is actually their money that they are giving to the city to do this upgrade. It's not something that's been taxed or collected from people who attend events at the convention center, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. The source of the money does not come from the operations of the facilities themselves. It does come from SMG corporate. So those dollars, subject to the negotiation of the contract, were a requirement that SMG would make that contribution, again, with the intent that we would find ways to enhance the facilities and make them more profitable, more appealing to potential clients.
And we pay them how much per year Do you remember? I'm trying to remember the number off the top
The
of my head.
base fee this year, I believe, is $130,000, and they can earn incentives up to 115% of that, so they can a little more than double that $130,000 with all incentives.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions for Tracy before we wear him out, going up and down here?
Moving slower now. Retirement's coming.
If not, I would ask for a motion to approve.
Move approval, Selberg.
Second.
Motion approved by Selberg, seconded by Kylie. Any further discussion amongst council? If not, a roll call vote on the motion to approve, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Nitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
Next item, item 111.
Item 111 is a resolution amending the 2018-2022 capital program.
Very briefly, this goes with the previous ordinance, the appropriations that you just approved. Because it does involve capital items, it does require an amendment to the capital program to add those audiovisual equipment items to the plan.
Great. Any further questions on this topic? If not, I would ask for a motion to approve.
Public comment, Mr. Mayor.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak to this? Thank you. If not, I would ask for a motion to approve.
Move to approve, Staley.
Second, Sale.
Motion approved by Councilor Staley, seconded by Councilor Sale. Any further discussion amongst the council? Roll call vote on the motion to approve, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Nitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Next item, 110.
Item 110 is to set a date of hearing and second reading for Tuesday, June 19th, 2018 at 7:00 p.m. First reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the Code of Ordinances of the city by amending Chapter 111, alcoholic beverages.
Amy.
Good evening, Jamie Palmer with licensing. I'm here this evening to briefly explain the revisions to the alcoholic beverage laws that were made during the 2018 legislative session. 3 alcoholic beverage licenses were repealed, the BW, PB, and PF. All licenses of these types that are currently issued will expire on June 30th of 2018. And then beginning on July 1st of 2018, the only malt beverage license that will be available to applicants will be the RB license, which allows for on and off sale malt beverages, and it will be expanded to include on and off sale South Dakota farm wine. The fee will remain at $300 annually. If a licensee that currently holds a BW, PB, or PF license, and they wish to continue their privileges that they're granted, they must apply for this new RB license. And because this is a new license, they are required to submit a checklist, a license application and fee before they can be scheduled for a notice of hearing and a hearing date. Many of these new licenses are scheduled to come before the council on June 19th. The agenda item does specify that the applicant is requesting off-sale use only. The repeal of these license types also created a need to amend the ordinance section which refers to closing of premise to be more specific to licensees that allow on-sale consumption. This, as you can read in this section of ordinance, it talks about retail malt beverage dealers must flash their lights at 1:45 and clear their place of business at 2. So now that many of these convenience stores, Targets, Walmarts are all going to be considered malt beverage retail dealers, this section of ordinance needs to be amended so that they do not have to flash their lights and clear their premise. To provide consistency, all alcoholic beverage licenses are now allowed to sell or serve from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. every day of the year. The sections of ordinances that previously allowed for sales on Memorial Day and Sundays are no longer necessary due to this state law change. Lastly, changes were made to clarify the fair market value for a full-service restaurant on-sale license. Initially, it was set, stated that for a period of 10 years following the adoption of an ordinance allowing that license type, so the price that was set had to remain that way for 10 years. So the changes are now allowing that after a city or municipality has reached that 10-year mark, they can, the fee requirement would revert back to provisions of 35-4-116, which states or sets the minimum price of issuance for $1 per person per capita. And I just want to briefly touch there. At the informational meeting, there was a question regarding a waiting period for an applicant if they would fail to meet the 60/40 requirement on this license type. And we researched that, and it was a year. And the other issue would be that they would be required to pay that $260,000 fee again, as well as provide 12 months of documentation proving that they have met that 60/40 requirement. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jamie. Councillor Staley, question for Jamie.
Few questions for Jamie.
Sure.
Now, we're charging $1.25 per person, correct?
For the regular on-sale liquor license, yes.
That's, yeah, and so and the minimum was $1, according to, you and I had that conversation.
There is, yeah, state law requires that it is a minimum of $1 per person. And right now, actually with the estimated growth population, it's sitting at about $1.10 per person for a license right now.
Okay. And we're mandated to do this, right? There's no, I mean, so when we're voting tonight, we have to vote yes, basically. We're just adopting something the state has.
Correct.
Has anyone raised any concerns about this?
No, I have had some contact from a couple of applicants in regards to the full-service restaurant license fee, and they had caught wind that the municipalities can change that after they reach a 10-year mark, and there's several that are saying, yeah, change it, lower it. But, you know, again, that's up to the municipality to do that, up to you folks to do.
And when you were talking about when this is changed over, that these people have to reapply for this, is that they're going to have to pay $300? Did you say did I hear you say that everyone's...
Oh, for the licenses that were repealed?
No, I was thinking that you were saying that with this change, people will have to just reapply.
Yeah, any of the license holders that were previously the license that were repealed do have to apply.
Repealed in a good sense, yeah. Okay, so this, I mean, not the ones that lost it because of the 60/40 thing.
Right,
yeah, right.
Yes,
so they're repealed just because they're in the process of this changing. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to pay $300 then?
Yes.
Over and above what they would have paid otherwise.
Yeah. A couple of the license type, one of the license types, it'll actually be cheaper for them for this new license. A couple of them will be about the same, and one of them will be a little bit more than what they were paying previously for the same privileges. Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jamie. Other questions for Jamie? Councillor Neitzer.
So the way that I understand it, Christmas sales aren't restricted unless the local governing body does so?
That is correct.
Do we have a prohibition or any restriction on Christmas Day at this point?
Well, just because of state law did. We didn't have anything on the books. We just followed state law because previously state law.
Well, what I'm saying, we're silent. So when this goes into effect, Christmas Day sales will be allowed unless somebody was to change it.
Correct.
Okay, just want to clarify what the baseline will be. Okay, thanks.
Other questions for Jamie?
Move to set the date for second reading on Tuesday, June 19th.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Councillor Erickson to set a date of hearing for second reading for June 19, 7 p.m. for this item 110, seconded by Kylie. Any further discussion? Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Neitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That item has passed 8-0. Next item.
Item 112 is a resolution to approve a road district petition within the city of Sioux Falls and Lincoln County joint zoning and subdivision jurisdiction, North End Road District petition.
Hi, Diane.
Good evening. I'm Diane Best, Assistant City Attorney. This item concerns a road district petition that was filed with the city. A road district is a separate special governmental entity. It's not a subdivision of the city of Sioux Falls. It's a group of citizens who get together to form their own district to take care of their own roads. And there's a special state law procedure. Because the road district would be within the joint zoning and subdivision jurisdiction area with Lincoln County, state law requires the city of Sioux Falls to either approve or reject the proposal. The steps that this entity goes through in order to create the district is that it must prepare a map, file a petition with the city, get a number of signatures, file a petition with the city, get the city's approval. Then the next step is to go to the county, but then of course the landowners themselves within the district would have the authority to vote on the matter themselves, and they would have the final say-so on whether the district is created. So the process is just beginning. So I'm really just introducing it to you. Item 112, if you look at your screen, the map is the little yellow line clear on the southeast side of the city, and that is in our joint jurisdiction area. For more perspective, the proposed road district is about 2 miles east of the intersection of 57th Street and Veterans Parkway. The Oak Trails Road District was established in 1998 and was dissolved earlier this year. So it's the same, as I understand it, it's the same area was previously a road district. This new district would be called the North End Road District, and it would replace the Oak Trails Road District. A petition was submitted. The process, as I indicated, is for the city council to make the first step in the approval process. There are 30-some properties involved. The proposed road district petition was filed with the city by attorney A.J. Swanson, and I believe he's here. And so he would be able to address, he or perhaps others within the road district would be able to address the particulars of what the road district intends to do once they are formed. They would have the authority to levy taxes to fund the maintenance of roads. It's really about it from the city attorney's perspective. We did go ahead and draft a resolution in the event that the council finds the petition should be granted. The standard for determining whether to grant the petition is basically just the council's discretion. I've talked to city engineering and to city planning and zoning, and neither one has any objection to the proposal.
Okay. Thank you, Diane. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak on this item? Good evening.
Good evening. Mayor and council, my name is A.J. Swanson. I practice law on a prairie next to the Big Sioux River in Lincoln County, but I get to come back to Sioux Falls on special occasions. This is a fairly arcane entity, not many of them around. Basically what we're trying to do is replace an existing road district that had some legal issues in its incorporation 20 years ago. I didn't do that work. We tried to get everyone to come together and agree to move forward, just, you know, overlooking the legal issues that weren't correctly addressed, and it involved a map that was incorrectly drawn at the beginning. Yet all the properties that we are dealing with here had the opportunity to vote on the formation of the existing road district, which is Oak Trails Road District. and it was adopted on a vote of, 25 to 3 back in 1998. The road has since been improved. The roads in question are a stub road that of 480th Street, which is about a 3/4 mile length. It would be straight north of Springdale Lutheran Church, if you are familiar with that area. Plus, it would be the interior roads within the Oak Trails Road District. There have been some additional development out there. The road was improved, as I said, 20 years ago on a frontage foot assessment basis. It is now time to repair the road. Springdale Township, which has this primarily as a statutory highway, is willing to take over the road again, but would immediately tear up the blacktop and return it to gravel. And it's a fairly high volume road. And so the only way for us to go forward is to create a new road district. We call it North End Road District, and that's, so NERD is our acronym. And we would like permission to go forward. The election that would be held and the incorporating resolutions would all be under the auspices of the Lincoln County Board and the Lincoln County Auditor. There is this odd little statute which says if we are in your growth zone or your joint jurisdiction, we have to come here first, and in fact we are. Back 1998, that was not the case, but it is today. And so that is the purpose of my appearing here tonight. And if you will say yes, I can then go back to Lincoln County. Any questions?
AJ, thank you. Questions for AJ? Councilor Staley.
Yes, I have a few questions.
Yes.
This is very interesting. Okay, so you've got the 30 properties now, is that correct?
There are 38.
38. So how does that election look? Do you just pick a day and they get to go to the auditor's office in Lincoln County? And
no, the auditor will be held within the district. The election will be held within the district, which is a requirement.
Well, like it's just at somebody's house?
In a garage.
And do they have ballots?
Oh, yes.
And it's
yes.
like it's done
and
professionally?
We have a ballot box, and we have judges of the election. We have to have 3 judges, a moderator, and the first hour is devoted to the question of shall the district be formed, and if that is passed by simple majority, we then go on to the second phase of the meeting, which is the election of trustees and the adoption of a budget and the setting of a tax levy.
So, and that doesn't already exist with the old Oak Trails one?
Well, we had a choice. We could either spend $40,000 or $100,000 litigating with people that have property within the district, or we could start over. It's a much more economical approach to start over. This road needs maintenance to the tune of roughly, I'm going to guess, $25,000 to $30,000 a year. I know we would spend at least a year worth of maintenance litigating over is the existing road district legitimate or not, and so we're just starting over.
Okay, and then just explain for my benefit, a township road, you said that you have to get rid of the blacktop and go to...
No, 480th is a statutory highway, so it would typically be a township road. 20 years ago, Springdale Township stepped back and let the road district, which is dissolving, take over and engineer the road and improve it and blacktop it. If we don't have a road district, the jurisdiction reverts entirely to Springdale Township.
Right.
And they told us on November 27th of 2017, they'd be happy to take the road back, but they're going to take the blacktop and get rid of it because they don't do blacktop.
But so, yeah, the question was, do townships in general not do blacktop?
That is correct.
Oh, they just do gravel?
Well, I'm a clerk of a township in Lincoln County. I don't know of a township in our county that has any blacktop roads. that are within. But if you find a blacktop road that's out in the township, it will be a road district.
Cool, okay, I didn't know. And then these people then are going to, they're responsible for their own snow removal and?
The road district would be,
Interesting.
as they have been for the last 20 years.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions for AJ? Councilor Kiley.
AJ, to go from Oak Trail Road District, and I hesitate to pronounce the acronym for that, so we'll go right on to NERD. To go
We
from
had
Oak
other
Trail
names in mind, but we passed on them.
to North End Road District, do you not have to dissolve the current road district before moving forward, or does the vote do that automatically?
Yeah, the vote was held on May 1.
Okay.
It was unanimously adopted by the trustees. There was a special statute, 3112A 28, which allows a road district to be dissolved on unanimous vote of the trustees. That vote was taken. There were approximately 32 members or people who own, this is an odd deal because you don't have, the statute speaks in terms of eligible voters, but the eligible voters in a county road district are if you own a lot that's going to be assessed. That makes you a voter. So if you live in Ipswich but own a lot within the area, you get to come back and vote. So that will be the function of it is our lot ownerships. After we adopted the resolution, there were, I think, 32 members who voted in writing by signing on to a resolution that they approved of the dissolution. There were no dissents. They must trust me.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Neitzer.
So just a couple things. So first of all, I assume all we're doing is essentially just granting you the authority to continue.
That's correct.
We will have no bearing on what assessments would be, what the rules of this district are. It's just us giving you the permission to proceed, right?
You are correct.
Okay. And then so essentially, if you can't do this district, I assume it will revert and it will become a gravel road. There's no bones about, I mean.
I'm out of options. I don't.
Because there's no district now, and if you don't get a new district, is what I'm saying.
We still are using the name. We still have a bank account that has some money in it.
Sure.
Our resolution says if we have an election and a new road district is formed prior to January 31st, 2019, the money that's in that account will move to the new road district.
Sure.
And if we don't have a new road district by then, I'm not sure what we will do.
Sure, I would assume at some point it would just go back to gravel. This at least empowers the group of landowners to at least affirmatively create this entity and make the choice whether they would like to create it or not and have a road or not and leave it in their hands. So
I think the vote will be overwhelmingly in favor.
Sure, and like any district, there's always some that want it and some that don't want to pay, and so majority rule.
That even happens in cities, I'm told.
Occasionally. Thank you.
Anything else? Yes.
Sir Brecky.
So the question is, you have to come before us because it's in the city's growth area.
It's in the city growth area now. It wasn't in 1998, and it's in the joint jurisdiction area of city and Lincoln County. So the statute, I believe, is 3112A 5.1, which was adopted in 1988. And that simply says that if we're going to do a new road district and we're in your growth area, we have to come and get your approval or blessing before we go on and do our jurisdictional thing in Lincoln County. So that's...
So the only point where it could actually have a consequence to the city is at some later date down the road, if, when the city's actually growing in that area, then it might want to become a regular city street if it were annexed, and then that probably would, you'd disband it and you'd do things a different way. But in the meantime, this allows you to provide for a better road so long as the people in that district are willing.
That is our hope and dream, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Councillor Staley?
One more question. You said it was you mentioned a stub road. What does that mean?
Well, it's a dead-end road. 480 ends at the Lincoln County, Minnehaha County line and does not proceed further north. Although the city limits are right coterminous with the Minnehaha County line. You're there, but we can't reach you because there's a huge gully. It would take quite a bridge, I think. I'm no road engineer, but so 480th ends right there, right at the county line. So stub road is kind of a shorty road that goes nowhere. You got to turn around and go back the direction you came.
Councillor Erickson.
Thank you. It's my understanding the only reason why we're voting on this is because it's in the joint jurisdiction. Otherwise, we'd never even see this. So with that said, thank you for answering all of our questions and educating us on this. And I will move approval.
Thank you.
Come back anytime.
My pleasure.
Any other public input on this?
5 minutes every week. Did you get a second for that? I'll second that, Neitzer.
All right. If not, I have a motion from Councillor Erickson to approve, seconded by Councillor Neitzer. Any further discussion amongst the council? If not, a roll call vote to approve item 112.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Neitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Next item, 113.
113 is a resolution including certain contiguous territory within the corporate limits of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Annexation 8194, 2018, 95th Street and Louise Avenue.
Good evening, Albert Schmidt with the City of Sioux Falls Planning Office. This is a petitioned annexation down the south side of Sioux Falls, just south of West 95th Street and on the east side of South Louise Avenue. As you can see, this area is approximately 22.1 acres in size. The area is sewerable through a force main to the east, and it is currently proposed to become a church eventually. The church will rezone the property to RS, anticipated to be August 7th for that public hearing, second reading. And this is the concept plan showing the church on the west side of the portion of the property, and then open space on the east. The applicant has had a neighborhood meeting with the area to the north there to talk to them about their proposal.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there any public input on this topic? If not, welcome.
Good evening. My name is Ron Nelson. Welcome, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ron.
Council members, new, existing, re-elected. Thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
I am the chairman of the building committee for this church, which is First Baptist Church. To acquaint you, if you're not familiar, we are at 22nd and Colville, right across the street from the Sanford Medical Building 3. 80-foot tall steeple, big white columns out front. We think of ourselves as a integral part of this community, as we have been since the mid-40s. And I started, I think, on my first committee looking to move in 1989. And I've probably been on about 5 committees since. It took a while to get off the ground, but we're Baptists, so, you know, speak slowly, and eventually things will come around. I have our executive team on our building committee with us, which consists of our senior pastor and an associate pastor and just another person on the team. In putting this together, I've been in the commercial real estate business over 30 years, and 1 year ago, I had never heard of a road district. There is a road district as a part of this. Interesting to hear the educational aspect of the previous applicant, and if we need an attorney, I think we found our man in AJ. I guess you could call ours a SWIRD, Southwest End Road District, if we adopt the current vernacular. But I do thank departments with the city who've just been extremely instrumental in helping us, Public Works, all of the various engineering department disciplines, and especially planning. As Albert mentioned, we did have a successful neighborhood meeting. We want to be a good neighbor. We want to embrace, have them embrace us and reach out to them as well. As you've been doing this tonight, you've been going through a lot of actions. If on this particular action you happen to feel a little twinge and you're not quite sure what it is, it's possible that it's because our entire church body is praying for this action tonight. So we would appreciate your support, and I'm just here to answer any questions you may have.
Thanks, Ron. Any questions for Mr. Nelson? Councilor Staley.
I just have a comment that I'm happy that you're going to be growing and moving, but I am sad at the same time. I've been to your church several times. I think it's a really wonderful presence in that neighborhood. And do you know what's going to happen to the church? Will that be sold, or is it going to become a parking lot?
We sure hope as well that it remains standing. I guess the best way to answer your question, Councilwoman Staley, is we're just taking one thing at a time. Our first step is to get this land, hopefully, glasses keep falling down, sorry, annexed into the city. We don't have a definitive timeline as to when we'll actually build, tied to a number of factors, fundraising being an important part of that. And from there, we will look to figure out what the next move is for that
so you could be in your present location for another year or two?
Oh, definitely be there for probably the next 3 to 4 years, I suspect.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Other questions for Ron? All right. Thank you, Ron.
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions for Albert on this? If not, I'd ask for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Brecky.
Second. Kylie.
Motion to approve by Councilor Brecky, seconded by Councilor Kiley. Any discussion on the council? If not, a roll call vote to approve, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Nitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
Prayers work. The motion is passed, Ron. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, could I have a point of personal privilege if I could, please?
Absolutely.
Commissioner Barth from Minnehaha County is in the room. He extended this same privilege to me while I went to one of their meetings and tried to sit in the back and be a little anonymous. So I'd like to welcome him this evening to join us and enjoy our meeting. And I'm sure he knows about road districts and he would be glad to opine on it. And I would defer that till after the meeting if we could. So.
Absolutely. Welcome, Commissioner Barth. Thank you. Our next item 114.
Item 114 is a resolution advising and giving consent to the appointment of members to the Southeastern Council of Governments, CCOG Board of Directors, and Urbanized Development Commission, UDC.
Good evening, Jim David with the City Council Office. Each year at this time, the City Council provides its advice and consent to the CCOG Board of Directors and also the Urbanized Development Commission. This resolution approves those council member appointments to these outside committees for a one-year term.
Thank you, Jim. Anyone from the public wish to speak on this?
Move to approve, Erickson.
Second. Kylie.
Motion approved by Councilor Erickson, seconded by Councilor Kiley. Any discussion amongst
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
I do always on these ask if there's anyone that we're appointing in the room, but I think we have that covered tonight on this appointment. But the other thing that I did want to share with the public is that we will be at our informational meeting. Is it next week, Jim, or 2 weeks? We're having Lynn Keller-Forbes here to discuss the activities of CCOG and what they do for our community. So I'll have to double check the informational. I can't remember. It was one of the June meetings. So she'll be here to just kind of go through their activities and what they do and give us a little bit of background of what's going on in the good works that they do. So
great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion from the council? If not, a roll call vote on the motion to approve, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Nitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Next item is 115.
Item 15 is a resolution advising and giving consent to the appointment of members to the City Council Audit Committee.
Good evening again, Jim David. In 2017, the City Council approved an ordinance requiring advice and consent for all of its audit committee members. The 4 City Council member appointments for this resolution are also for a one-year term. Thanks.
Thanks, Jim. Anyone from the public wish to speak on this? Anyone have any questions for Jim on this?
Can we have the names?
Be more than happy to provide that. The audit committee members are going to be Greg Neitzert, Rick Kiley, Kurt Sale, and Teresa Staley.
And just for the, just for the people watching at home too, for the past one, I was kind of wanting the names to be publicly stated, if you would.
So for the Southeastern Council of Governments, for their board of directors, Pat Starr, Teresa Staley, and then Jim David as alternate. For Urbanized Development Commission, Janet Brecky, Greg Neitzert, Rick Kiley, Pat Starr, and Dave Bixler and Jim David serve as alternates.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Any other questions for Jim?
Move approval on item 115.
Second, Erickson.
Motion approved by Councilor Kiley, seconded by Councilor Erickson. Any discussion? If not, a roll call vote, please.
Council members Erickson?
Yes.
Kiley?
Yes.
Neitzert?
Yes.
Selberg?
Yes.
Sale?
Yes.
Starr?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
Brecky?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Next item.
Item 116 is a report of the May 16, 2018 Notice of Transfer of Appropriations within Major Organizational Units.
Right. Is there any new business amongst the council? Seeing none, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All right. All those in favor of adjourning, say yes.
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 Opposed, no. That motion is carried. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.